watching Republic.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you, viewers. We'll start this show today with the double strike by the Chief of Air Staff and the Chief of Army Staff of India. Warnings after warnings to Pakistan issued. Asim Munir must be listening to this very, very carefully, viewers. The second top story, the other top story on the show is how Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is on the boil. Shehbaz Sharif and Asim Munir are losing control completely of the region, and the revolt, the protesters are unrelenting. Their march continues. We'll show you everything from ground zero. Story number 3 is the tragedy in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, the deaths due to the toxic cough syrup. We'll tell you more about the investigation around that. Also, story number 4 is how Putin is warning Trump. He has warned Trump and lauded India's steadfastness amid the tariff bullying. Also on the show, Flashpoint Ladakh, what's happening in the latest? Wife of Sonam Wangchuk has moved to Supreme Court. And also the story from the Jawaharlal Nehru University. The campus has once again witnessed violent clashes, this time during Durga Puja and the Dussehra celebrations. Let's start with a big story, viewers. India's military top brass has fired the warning straight at Pakistan. Very sharp, unflinching and impossible to ignore. From the army chief to the air chief, the message has been loud and crystal clear that restraint is not going to be an option next time. Retaliation will be decisive. Pakistan's terror machinery once again stands exposed. Its lies have been shattered today by the Air Chief Marshal, and the Army Chief has given a warning and an option to Pakistan. If at all it wants to stay on the map of the world, it better mend its ways.
This was the admissible warning to Pakistan from the army chief. Loud, clear and unapologetic.
तो ये मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि इस बार भारत देश पूरी तैयारी के साथ है और इस बार वो संयम नहीं रखेगा जो सिंदूर 1.0 में हमने संयम रखा था। इस बार हम आगे की कार्रवाई करेंगे और कुछ ऐसी कार्रवाई करेंगे कि हो सकता है पाकिस्तान को सोचना पड़े कि उसे इतिहास में भूगोल में रहना है कि नहीं रहना। अगर उसे भूगोल में अपनी जगह बनानी है तो उसके लिए उसे जो स्टेट स्पॉन्सर टेररिज्म जिसको हम बोलते हैं, यानी कि उसका देश जो टेररिज्म को स्पॉन्सर कर रहा है उसे रोकना पड़ेगा। तो आप अपनी पूरी तैयारी करके रखिए और अगर परवरदिगार चाहेंगे, भगवान चाहेंगे, वाहेगुरु चाहेंगे तो बहुत जल्दी ही आपको मौका मिलेगा। उसके लिए ऑल द बेस्ट। जय हिंद।
The army chief's message rang out like a strike. A simple, stark order to Pak. Stop terror sponsorship or face the consequences. Almost 6 months after Operation Sindoor, a campaign, India says, hit deep. IF chief has spoken. He didn't soften the blow. He set the record straight.
We have struck a large number of their airfields, and we've struck a large number of their installations. And what we have gathered from whatever int reports we have got is that on ground, because of our strikes, there have been radars at least 4 places and at least 4 to 5 fighter aircraft, most likely F-16, because that base happened to be F-16. But we could make them reach a stage where they ask for a ceasefire, ask for termination of hostilities, and also we took a call as a nation to terminate those hostilities because our own objectives were met. I think this is something that the world needs to learn from us, and I have said this earlier also. our long-range SAMs, the long-range SAMs that we had procured recently and operationalized, that again, turned the table on them. We could look deep inside their territory. We could make sure that they were not able to operate even within their territory, up to a certain distance. And it will go down in the history, that longest kill that we achieved of more than 300 kilometers by that.
India's message is unambiguous. This is not a warning. It is a promise of readiness. Pakistan's lies shattered, their fairy tales have been exposed. The air chief mocked Pakistan's claims, calling them Manohar Kahaniya, and dropped bombs of his own.
उन्होंने कहा हमने इतने जेट गिराए, आपने कुछ नहीं बोला. मैं अभी भी कुछ नहीं बोल रहा हूँ उसके बारे में, और ना मैं बोलना चाहूँगा. अगर वो सोचते उन्होंने मेरे 15 जेट गिराए हैं, उनको सोचने दो.
Pakistan's narrative has collapsed. These thunderous statements are coming at a time when POK is witnessing unprecedented revolt.
We have seen reports on protests in several areas of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, including brutalities by Pakistani forces on innocent civilians. We believe that it is a natural consequence of Pakistan's oppressive approach and systemic plundering of resources from these territories, which remain under its forcible and illegal occupation. Pakistan must be held accountable for its horrific human rights violations.
Pakistan is slipping out of Shehbaz's hands, and India's warning has been delivered loud, direct, and without room for misinterpretation.
Now, the streets of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir are on fire, viewers. From Sensa to Kotli, from Arja Bridge to Palandari, the anger is exploding, defiance is rising, and Islamabad is on its knees. Shehbaz Sharif's government faces the loudest rejection yet, as Pakistan-occupied Kashmir unleashes a full-blown people's revolt.
Charred vehicles on streets, flames refusing to die. A sea of rage engulfs Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Lockdowns, shutdowns and open rebellion against Islamabad's writ. This is how Pakistan-occupied Kashmir is cornering Shehbaz Sharif's government. In just 24 hours, Pakistan-occupied Kashmir has witnessed an unprecedented people's revolt. Shehbaz Sharif is losing control. Asim Munir's army is on the back foot. And all this, even as Islamabad pretends to negotiate with Jammu and Kashmir Awami Action Committee, the spark was civilian killings. And then came the fire. Angry protesters in Sahansa torching police vans and bulldozers. Police buses reduced to ashes, bulldozers up in flames, and a fury that refuses to die down. Demonstrators have turned state property into rubble, avenging civilian blood spilled by the regime. Protesters choked the Arja Bridge. Traffic paralyzed, a warning shot at a crumbling establishment. Kotli has shut its doors. Markets deserted, transport frozen, defiance loud. What makes this revolt different? These are not just the usual flashpoints of Muzaffarabad or Mirpur. The anger has now spilled to Sensa, Arja, Kotli, Azad Pattan and Palandari, regions that have never witnessed violence of this scale before. The distance is telling. Protests have jumped districts connecting far-flung corners of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir in one voice of defiance. Streets seethe with rejection of Pakistan's tyranny, rejection of Shehbaz's sham government. Pakistan-occupied Kashmir stands in revolt. The anger is raw, the resentment deep, and the storm against Islamabad shows no sign of retreat.
Now, a very common medicine that was meant to heal has turned into now something that is only leading to tragedies. from Chhindwara to in Madhya Pradesh to places in Rajasthan. Children are dying after consuming a toxic cough syrup. Banned companies, blacklisted firms, unchecked contracts today. All these, the question behind is simple: who is really responsible for turning a medicine into poison? Several other states are also now on alert regarding the sale of the same cough syrup. Now, viewers, here's the latest.
A bottle meant to cure has turned into a bottle of death. 3 more children tragically died in Chhindwara district of Madhya Pradesh after consuming cough syrup. The poison triggered kidney failure. The death toll has risen to 9 in Madhya Pradesh and 11 across the country.
9 का आंकड़ा है, जिसमें से जो हमारी आखिरी डेथ हुई है वो संध्या नाम की बच्ची है, जो 2 दिन पहले उसकी डेथ हुई है।
और अभी कितने सीरियस बच्चे हैं जो नागपुर में एडमिट हैं, या टोटल संख्या क्या है जो पेशेंट्स हैं अभी?
हमारे पास अभी 13 बच्चे थे जो एडमिट थे, जिनमें से 1 की आज रिकवरी हो गई है। इनमें से फिर 4 बच्चे हैं जो जिला अस्पताल में भर्ती हैं, जिनमें से 2 बच्चे ठीक हैं, 2 का इलाज जारी है। और इसके अलावा नागपुर में 8 बच्चे हैं, जिनमें से 5 की कंडीशन ठीक बताई जा रही है, और 3 बच्चे जो हैं वो थोड़े से डायलिसिस या वेंटिलेटर हैं, उसी किसी लाइफ सपोर्ट सिस्टम पर हैं।
जितने 9 के 9 होते हैं उनमें सब में किडनी फेलियर ही रीजन है।
अच्छा, और जो 2 कफ सिरप है, कोल्ड ड्रिफ्ट और एक और है नेक्स्ट डिया, इन दोनों को प्रतिबंधित किया है, वजह क्या है?
पुराने जो रिसर्च है उसमें ये पाया गया है कि बहुत सारे जब अनएक्सप्लेन किडनी इंजरी होती है उसमें फार्मास्यूटिकल कंटेमिनेशन की संभावना जताई गई है। तो जैसे कि किडनी इंजरी के बहुत सारे रीज़न हो सकते हैं, जैसे इन्फेक्शन है, डिहाइड्रेशन है, तीसरा कोई जो ऐसे ड्रग जो किडनी को इंजरी करते हैं, या कोई टॉक्सिन जो रहते हैं, उसके वजह से ये किडनी इंजरी हो सकती है।
Authorities are scrambling to track the full distribution network of the drugs. Cough syrup manufacturer Kesan Pharma is under the scanner.
छिंदवाड़ा में जो परासिया ब्लॉक है, यहाँ पर जो मरने वाले बच्चे हैं, किडनी फेल होने की वजह से जो बच्चों की संख्या है वो बढ़कर 6 से 9 हो चुकी है। मतलब परासिया ब्लॉक में 9 ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो इस कफ सिरप को पीने के बाद उनकी किडनी फेल हुई और उनकी मौत हो चुकी है। प्रशासन की बात करें, डॉक्टरों की बात करें, सबसे पहले अगर मैं डॉक्टर की बात करूं तो छिंदवाड़ा जिला अस्पताल के चाइल्ड स्पेशलिस्ट जो हैं उनसे हमने एक्सक्लूसिव बातचीत की थी। उन्होंने ये आशंका जताई है कि डाई एथिलीन ग्लाइकॉल, ये जो रसायन है, इसका कफ सिरप में उपयोग किया गया और ये रसायन दूषित पाया गया किडनी के सैंपल में, जबकि ये जो रसायन है इसका उपयोग दवा बनाने में होना ही नहीं चाहिए।
What began as a simple case of seasonal fever has now taken a deadly turn. Tragedy spreads to Rajasthan. 2 children died in Sikar and Bharatpur districts. A full-scale probe has been ordered. Distribution of the cough syrup has been banned.
ये वही केसन फार्मा है जहाँ पे बच्चों के लिए कफ सिरप बनाई जाती है, कई सारे मेडिसिन यहाँ पे बनाए जाते हैं और यहीं से ये जो कफ सिरप है वो सरकारी अस्पतालों में उसकी सप्लाई होती है और ऐसे में जो बच्चे जिनको खांसी की शिकायत होती है उन्हें वो कफ सिरप दी जाती है। लेकिन इन दिनों ये जो मामला सामने आया है राजस्थान से वो काफ़ी डराने वाला है, चौंकाने वाला है, क्योंकि केसन फार्मा की तरफ से एक ऐसे कफ सिरप की सप्लाई हुई जिसे पीने के बाद कई बच्चों के किडनी में पूरी तरह से वो इफेक्ट हुआ और एक बच्चे की मौत का दावा भी इसी कफ सिरप की वजह से कहा जा रहा है।
As families cry for help, the country demands to know whose hands have blood on them.
Despite Washington's constant bullying and the punitive tariffs that were put out, India stood undeterred, ultimately bringing US to the negotiating table. And now it has drawn Russian President Vladimir Putin's praise for that. Putin hailed Prime Minister Modi for saying no pressure, no threats can bend India. Not only that, he also mocked and warned Donald Trump and even the NATO. So from Moscow's support to Delhi's defined economic strategy, viewers, the message is very clear that India will defend its sovereignty, its economy and its global stature.
Washington's pressure games are backfiring. After Donald Trump's 50% tariff blow aimed at India, Moscow is standing firm behind New Delhi. At the Valdai Forum in Sochi, Vladimir Putin hailed Prime Minister Modi as a wise and a balanced leader. He said Prime Minister Modi is a leader who will never bow before threats or humiliation.
It's not about politics, it's like a pure economic reckoning, and many of our economists believe it's going to happen. The Indian people will look at what decisions are made by the political leadership and never accept any humiliation before anyone. And also I know Prime Minister Modi, he will never take any steps of the kind.
Putin tore into America's bullying, warning that India's sovereign choices are not up for sale. He also said that importing Russian crude is cold, hard economics, not politics or fueling war machine. And he reminded the world that India won't trade dignity for dollars. Putin made it very clear that punitive tariffs may cost India billions, but also added that crude imports from Russia will more than plug that hole while cementing India's global prestige. This comes after Trump accused India of funding the Ukraine war and slapped tariffs that threaten to choke Indian exports. But Putin warned America's tariff frenzy will ricochet, driving global prices higher and forcing the Fed's hand-on rates. And back home, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman struck a defiant note, spelling out India's resilience in the face of economic warfare.
Geopolitical conflicts are intensifying. Sanctions, tariffs, and decoupling strategies are reshaping global supply chains.
And meanwhile, Ladakh simmers, viewers' intention, it's on the edge, and legal battles. Administrative clampdowns and a storm of digital disinformation has also gripped Ladakh. From the Supreme Court to the viral fake videos, the region's unrest is escalating on every front. In the latest, Sonam Wangchuk's wife has moved the Supreme Court against Sonam Wangchuk's arrest.
Ladakh on the boil. Legal, social, and now digital battles collide. Sonam Wangchuk's wife moves to Supreme Court against his detention under the NSA with a habeas corpus plea. She mentioned that no clarity on his health or the grounds of detention for over a week has been informed to her.
इसका अभी तक कोई रिस्पांस नहीं मिला है और इसमें यही साइट किया गया है कि उनका इमीडिएट रिलीज हो क्योंकि डिटेंशन इलीगल है क्योंकि वो किसी हालत से नेशनल सिक्योरिटी को थ्रेट नहीं है इनफैक्ट उनसे ज़्यादा पीसफुल तरीके से कोई भी हर चीज़ को हैंडल करता हो ऐसा कोई नहीं है और प्लस कि मुझे उनको मिलने दिया जाए इट्स बीन 5 days में वो ऑर्डर मिलना चाहिए था डिटेंशन ऑर्डर जो अभी तक नहीं मिला है तो इसीलिए वेट करके 6th day को हमने रिप्रेजेंटेशन लिखा to the President of India, Prime Minister of India, to the Home Minister, Law Minister, to the LG of Ladakh and the DC of Ladakh. But there was no response till yesterday.
Ladakh LG Kavinder Gupta has responded to Sonam's wife's plea in the court.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट मूव किया है गीतांजलि अंगमो ने ये कहा गया है कि जो गिरफ्तारी या डिटेंशन हुई है सोनम वांगचुक की वो गलत है
देखिए हर व्यक्ति को कोर्ट में जाने का अधिकार है लेकिन एनएसए ने जो किया वो सबूतों के आधार पर ही किया होगा ये स्वाभाविक बात है
Meanwhile, the Ladakh administration has turned its lens on HIAL, Wangchuk's institute. Officials allege that the institute issued unrecognized degrees putting youth's future at risk. But adding fuel to the fire, fake AI-generated videos that are being circulated online. A fabricated clip of Ladakh DGP followed by a fake video of the ADC. Admin have registered FIR against fake videos that are being spread on social media. From detention to digital disinformation, Ladakh's unrest is now playing out on multiple fronts.
And viewers, once again, JNU was gripped with tensions. This time it was on the occasion of Durga Puja, on the occasion of Vijay Dashmi. Now, what was supposed to be a peaceful puja immersion at the Sabarmati tea point descended into a violent clash last evening. Not the first time, of course, that JNU has found itself in news for the wrong reasons. Now, the very scenes that you right now are being played out are from the JNU campus, viewers, and also there was a controversy surrounding the burning of effigies that had the images of Sharjeel Imam as well. We will get you more in this report. Once again, Hindus attacked and targeted for celebrating their festival. At the university, a peaceful Durga Puja Visarjan quickly descended into a violent clash. Several students, including women participants, were injured in the incident, which has sparked massive outrage across the campus, renewing the debate over JNU's cultural climate. The peaceful Visarjan was shattered as left-affiliated students allegedly pelted stones at the procession. The ABVP accused the left students of vitiating the atmosphere deliberately and targeting a Hindu festival.
Students of JNU, they had a Durga idol here in the campus itself, and at the end of the 10th day on Vijay Dashmi, there was this Durga idol immersion procession that was carried out, and while that procession was towards its end near this Sabarmati tea, if we see straight from here near the Sabarmati tea point, left wing, several students from the left wing bodies started sloganeering, they started stone pelting, they started throwing wooden blocks on the procession, and there was also a lot of slipper flashing, and allegedly 2 to 3 female participants of that procession got hurt in the process.
Unlimited Love B6 Pack 2 starts at 21.9 lakh.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डवेयर मसाला। I choose a world where we dream and the limit is the sky, and this world is my home where I'm living my best.
Mindfully crafted home decor fabrics. Sansar, a D-Decor brand. Live consciously.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा,
Bliss. Sometimes it dances on your skin like first rain. Weaves the magic of warmth into a cold day. It teases, it soothes, and sometimes speaks without words. Experience bliss in all its forms with Hindware. Hindware, designed for bliss.
MDH की देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का। MDH की देगी